Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. If you've been paying attention to any of the last, I want to say like 60 videos, I don't know why 60, it just sounds completely correct. We have constantly gotten news that there are institutions and countries and banks and companies who are buying Bitcoin. Yes, this should not come as a surprise, especially if you've seen the last couple of videos, like the one I believe yesterday or the day before. Yeah, we know that these entities, I call them entities because why not to tease, are in the cryptocurrency space right now, even though we were told a number of years ago that they were not. The fascinating thing about especially the ETFs that have recently launched, it's been a couple of months, and I mean, it hasn't been years yet, so I still have to do is that we know and are seeing publicly listed companies and banks who are also buying up a lot of Bitcoin. We had news years ago that there were a number of banks within the United States who were actively trying to buy Bitcoin. I told you before, a lot of that news went to the side around 2020 because of you know why, but it's beginning to pop up once again. We've actually had a pretty strong increase in the amount of news before the halving about companies who were trying to get into the cryptocurrency space. You might remember the news about the Hong Kong ETFs and the other countries who are also launching them as well. Everyone sneakily tried to hide the fact that they were trying to get all of this done before the halving actually took place, as there's now less Bitcoin coming out of the machine. Someone on Twitter, there will be a link in the description below, found out that there are apparently multiple banks in the United States who are actually buying up Bitcoin because they had to file SEC filings as they were buying registered securities within the United States through the actual ETFs. I won't list all of them. I don't think you know many of these banks. The point to be made in all of this is that, how do I say this? No matter what the news is, typically daily, it kind of revolves around the fact that there's not a lot of Bitcoin left for people to buy. We're getting clear indications. I mean, not even crystal clear. Like, no, this here, my hand, this is clear. Like, it's that how easily you can see it. About who's buying Bitcoin and how much that they're buying every single day. I'm eagerly awaiting the next couple of weeks just because as we continue to see the numbers ramping up, we're going to feel the squeeze. We're going to understand that this whole time, there hasn't been a lot of Bitcoin left. And I just want other people to really understand that as well, because we keep getting news. I'll say this in this way. We keep getting news that more and more Bitcoin's being taken off the table. But as I mentioned before, if prices aren't where people want them to be, this negativity begins to flow back into the market. Well, I guess, it's not as amazing as we thought. And it's like, no, you're missing the point that we now have banks and federal banks, if you were watching the latest video, who are actively buying it. And I don't even tell you about the other countries and stuff like that as well. There's actually a list of how many shares a lot of these banks are buying. And many of them have tens of thousands of shares from, well, actually, it's a good mix. A lot of them do have IBIT. IBIT is the actual BlackRock ETF, and they're continuing to buy as well. So not going to be the most detailed video, if you will. It's just more of just to keep everyone updated that when we hear that there's not a lot of Bitcoin left, we are usually given the narrative of just BlackRock. And I want you to understand that banks are also buying as well. You get the, I don't have to elaborate. I'm pretty sure you all understand at this point. Just make sure to always try and stay focused. I know we are in a market and in a time in history where a lot of the news is completely all over the place. A lot of people, I keep seeing a lot of people keep trying to throw out the idea of interest rates not falling either at all or as quick as people want them to as a reason as to why Bitcoin would not rise in price. I told you a couple of days ago as well, and I tried to be nice. I heard people say, and I saw online people asking if the halving had already been priced in, if that was as high as we were going to go in price, if there was more space to move up. And part of one of my, it's not a pet peeve, it's like a monster peeve, is people asking me to like explain myself, but then I also get into the situation where I'm like, I can't explain 8 years of news to you every single day. No, the halving is not priced in. We are witnessing currently the supply crunch. Look at where we were exactly a year ago. I understand that dips in price may be scary to a lot of people out there. This is why it's always very important to do more research. It doesn't hurt. It actually only makes you stronger as a person, mentally and physically, because you're able to understand these actual market movements that we have. If you hear that we have institutions and companies who are buying up Bitcoin 20, 30, 40x what is being created per day, and then you look at the market and you see prices have gone down by 3% and you're terrified, you need to ask yourself, why am I so terrified when I just heard all this amazing news that I know is currently going on? So always try to take time out of your day, just a suggestion, to learn a little bit more about the market that you're putting your money in. I've been saying that for years. It does not make any sense that you took the time to earn this money. You're simply throwing it into the market. Learn more about it. Yes. These are the recent filings that we've gotten. They're called 13F SEC filings. Show that a number of banks are currently buying Bitcoin, and it's no longer really surprising, especially given all the other news that we've been getting. A lot of the ETF news, I think, is going to start picking up in the next couple of weeks, especially as we heard that the ETFs within Hong Kong are, some of them, I believe, one or two have launched. They have Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs. So these companies are going to be buying Bitcoin and Ethereum off of actual exchanges, or physically buying it, as it were. And I think the other ones are active at the end of April. So that's also going to cause a bit of a hyper jump in interest in the market as well. Yeah, as I always say, every single day we keep getting really good news, and it's just a matter of people paying attention to it, because for some reason, I think a lot of people want negativity to reign a little bit more than the actual good news that we've been consistently getting for 8 years in a row. Right. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.